Former Gorsuch and Scalia clerk, Antonin Scalia clerk, Michael Kenneally. Michael, what do you make of these latest developments and where this is all going for Friday?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm kind of shocked that we're in this position. I mean, in Judge Gorsuch, you have a nominee who is exceptionally well qualified. You've had the American Bar Association give him their highest approval rating unanimously. You've had President Obama's acting Solicitor General come out in support of him, and you've had a long line of his colleagues, former clerks, and lawyers who have practiced in front of him who have attested to his wonderful temperament. So the fact that he can't be flying through this process with broad support is really surprising to me.
You know this stuff far better than I, Michael, but I always think when everyone calls something a nuclear option, like, a nuclear option to me is nuclear. I don't think you can equate anything else to what we do with nuclear weaponry. Having said that, I'm curious why it's such a big deal when in the past we've seen the likes of Clarence Thomas approved after a raucous series of committee hearings by a 52-48 vote. There is precedent for this sort of thing. So how has it elevated to the point now that it has?
Well, I'm not sure how the sort of discourse on this issue has gotten to the point where people repeat the idea that Supreme Court justices have to get 60 votes. I mean, the reality is you haven't had a filibuster, successful one, of a Supreme Court justice in 50 years, and that was of Justice Abe Fortas, who in the filibuster there was bipartisan. You had senators on both sides of the aisle, and there were ethics concerns, but you've never had a filibuster since then, and so we're seeing something really unprecedented. And as you pointed out, both Justice Thomas was confirmed with less than 60 votes, and Justice Alito was as well.
Where does this go? Because you could argue that if this is the way they're going to go, a simple majority is all it takes, the nuclear option, hyperbole notwithstanding, then wouldn't it behoove who's ever in control of the Senate to pick the most extreme judicial nominee possible? So if Republicans are in charge, the most conservative candidate. If Democrats are the most liberal candidate. We're looking at Delaware Senator Coons, who might tip his hand very shortly on what he's going to do. But what do you make of that this is actually going to make for more extreme judge choices in the future?
Well, I do think that part of the benefit of having the filibuster sort of lurking out there is that presidents do think about it when they're making their nominations. And if you don't have that anymore, that won't be there. I worry that as this process gets more and more politicized, as it seems each cycle it does, that soon it'll be impossible for presidents to pick to nominate a justice unless their party also has control of the Senate.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Michael.